Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing dinos in the newly restarted standard. We got a big jump from the bannings. As you know, mono red is not near as dominant, and one of the decks that kind of struggled against that deck the most because of how fast mono red could be is this one. And with domain losing up the beanstalk, we don't have to worry about getting drug out into a long fist fight with those decks. And Omniscience being a turn slower with the kind of 5-minute cards that they have to play allows us to open up our deck and get a lot of opportunities where before we would just struggle to either get there in time against Omniscience or red, or we get drug into a domain match where it was just Sunfall and board wipes, and then we would get hit with ley lines and graveyard hate and all that kind of nonsense as well. And that's what we're playing today, is the Reanimate Zombie deck, where we have Zombify, Rakdos joins up. Both of these will bring creatures back from our graveyard, and the best kind of card to hit is kind of dependent on what stage of the game we're in. If it's really early, as you'll see in game 1, which was our last game, I am moving it to the front so you can kind of see the craziest turn this deck can have, is a Ghalta. If our hand is loaded full of creatures, this is what we want to bring back. If not, oftentimes an Atali will do the trick, because then it can hit into any of our other creatures and cause a lot of kind of cascading effects. Or sometimes just a Gishath, especially if a Rakdos joins up, is what's doing the reanimating, because it gives us a +2 on that creature, so this can look at our top 9 and then just hit a plethora of creatures to kind of make it go off, especially with cards like Vaultborn Tyrant that load up our hand depending. And then a Gishath, so we can stack the triggers where Gishath resolves last, but we draw the cards of Vaultborn Tyrant first. So with that said, we're probably going to dive into the games. I will give a little bit of information here. I haven't uploaded in a couple of days. I was waiting for the bannings. We all knew they were coming. And then unfortunately, as the day of bannings, I had to put one of my dogs down, which has not been great, to be honest. I've been pretty depressed about it overall, and just sitting down at my PC and launching Arena and getting frustrated if a deck's not working and stuff like that was just not on the cards for that. I was just kind of staring at my monitor, and kind of, you might be able to tell throughout the video, I'm a little downer than what I might normally be. But with all I've said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway. And anybody that's kind of had the problem, I know it all sucks, dude. It's all bad, but that, let's go ahead and dive into the games, and I hope you all enjoy. And do draw lands or just bigger spells, I guess. We have to get kind of lucky and good stuff. Sky Oculus, it seems. Don't have a swamp one, or I guess we do have this on, huh? Thought this was the other way around. I thought we had this black mana, but I was actually wrong. Yeah, we want to tap out here. They didn't counter anything before. You counter this? No? We kept... Sure, here's these. You like to continue? Holy cow, bro. This is turn 4. No, turn 3. Yep. We're there. I'll immediately go to 42. Rakdos joins up seems good. I'll bring back into Tali, and I will actually keep this one, so you take 9. Game might not even end. All right, yeah. What a crazy game that was. This game was a minute long. Yeah. We have stuff to do. We're against the landfall deck. Means we do have some play, as long as there's no like Snakeskin Veil we have to worry about. Anything too protective. So, what a weird spot to be in, huh? We have to play this swamp. Then we need to Bitter Triumph something, which Ghalta is probably going to be what we put in the graveyard. Like, the odds of them overloading on the small Chocobo seems so very small. But maybe they do something else. The problem is Carnosaur feels like it's going to miss here. Well, this might give us a chance. Bristly Bill might target the Scourge. Allow that. Here. I guess. Tough. Here's with a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. So realistically, we're just in a spot where we have to survive a couple of turns. Now, is that easy by any stretch? No, because this keeps growing. But we have to do our best. Unfortunately, even here, we run into the problem that I actually have to Carnosaur this right now. With the extra counters they're able to move around, it's going to get so much worse for me. I'd rather have to find a Zombify or another interaction piece, like another Triumph, or any way kind of progress our game. Go to 12. We're not just dead on the spot, it seems. That progresses our game a bit. This does make a treasure, so we will go ahead and cycle the land. Because right now we're just looking for... You're just looking for like an extra creature to put in off of our reanimated Galta. Gishath. There's a Carnosaur, which I guess we can technically use if we have to. Don't really want to. Turn. A flash creature or enchantment, maybe? Maybe that's a snakeskin veil it's holding up. Could be fine. Because that had to be their draw, right? Because they did nothing last turn. I was like, what if that was just an infinite loop? Wouldn't that be crazy? Just fine. Survive to the moment we needed to. Another creature off the top be best. We can just go ahead and play the land, I suppose. Just save our treasure. The green-white source isn't really going to do much here. That I can think of. I don't know of any card that's troublesome here. Here. 14-14. Obviously, both these come in. It's going to be a draw 2, gain 6. And we still have a Carnosaur trigger to happen. Alright, pretty good draw. Bad draw. At least we can cycle it away, I guess. Bitter Triumph would be best draw in this case. Land. Find another. And now we just wait. So far, so good. Everything's coming together. We do have a Carnosaur in our yard, so if we do rip like a Zombify, we could play it. So we have enough mana to do it, but we're probably going to have to play the Voltborn Tyrant anyway. It'll be a draw 2, gain 6. Got pretty good blocks with the Galta being able to be sacrificed here. Shelter by Ghost is obviously a card that hits pretty well. Back Flare, that's legendary now? I was gonna say it has to be legendary, right? This gets larger, that also gets larger. I mean, just so many counters on this stupid guy. Had to spend 2 mana on it. Okay. I was curious if you were able to play this for 1. I think it starts... Yeah, starts as a 0/0, so... That's pretty good. And then they end up just conceding. Alright, sweet. Too much power, they can't do much about it. And with that, we move on. We'll try. I mean, if we rip a black source, I feel so good. But if we don't, then obviously we're in trouble. Or any source at all for a Seize the Spoils, of course. Who's insight? Grab back the only creature you can. Oh, no, you can grab a land, right? Like, grab something, dog. You got it. Or don't. I can't imagine you went into Dredge's Insight where it was just hard of a choice. Okay. Oh, we finally picked. Nice. What do we get rid of here? I guess one's like not castable, right? Probably so good in this matchup, though. I'm gonna put Natali in the bin, and we hit a land. Very nice. So, and then Seize the Spoils. I guess is all that really mattered. The fact that we hit the way we did. Should know what we're on. If they don't know, I'd be surprised. Invasion and putting Natalia in the graveyard. I can't imagine we don't know what's up. Our sweet old time. Okay. This is the domain list, I believe. Draw 2 cards and draw that many. From what I've seen, they've been playing this. It's like rotation proof domain. Maybe I'm wrong based on what I'm looking at. Go ahead and get rid of this. They can't exile it. I don't really know if it matters that much. I'm going to give myself options, actually. I'm going to get rid of this Gath. Depending what they do. If they don't leave anything back and say they attack out, right? Do some haste nonsense or attack out, I'll probably do a Gift Shaft. So I can hit them and make contact and do all the good stuff. If I would have hit a Zombify, I might have done it as well, but I would have no black mana left over because I'd have to my removal required both of these. But if it looks like they're keeping up a card like Get Lost or something, then I will probably change how I do it. Sure. They have a starting town. Play this till next turn, so any of your turn, or they can play it in any of the turns, but they have 1 single mana. They're attacking for 3, so this is definitely a Gift Shaft territory, I believe. Look at our top 6. I feel like the odds have to be good. I feel like they have to be good. Could not be. Let's just be a 1 minute. All right, I guess I'll look at the top 8, right? I failed on this before. I could fail again. I don't block at all. They allow me to do whatever I want, which is a decision. Okay, that was a decision. I would like to do all these, please. I mean, obviously blocking 1, at most you get rid of 1 of those, because obviously I don't know how the order stacks, but at most you get rid of 1 of those. I didn't even get to see the stack for longer than a second, dude. What? Nice. Oh, we're almost there. One more. Our deck couldn't cast like a single spell. This shaft seems worse in this scenario. It's really just going to be play mountain, play forest, play invasion, discard Atali, zombify Atali, and just hope we go wild from there. If our opponent doesn't interact with us too well. But man, am I enjoying the fact that I don't have to lose to Heartfire Hero, Monstrous Rage, kick, double kick, kick, Monstrous Rage, double striking, Trampler. I know that's a lot of words I just said, but it is what it is. 2. You take 2 as well. Cavern Bat. Well, see Zombify. We'll never see you again, probably. Could take the Atali, I guess, but that's like a bad decision. Okay, I think that's also a bad decision. Oh boy. Well, get rid of here. Draw another land. At least we have 2 reanimate sources, so we either get to bring back an Atali this turn or not. Tap Golgari, okay. Golgari might be a deck that's allowed to legally come back and be played. Zombify Atali. Oh, don't go for the 3rd. Oh, maybe we should have waited. We punished? No, we hit the 3rd invasion. Okay. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Now invasion, I guess. I'm glad I hit the 3rd one. Never let them tell you that your decks comes in 2s, you know. And they give me the invasion back. That seems weird. For a card we took, it seems odd. But the only reason I was kind of like, I don't know if I agree with that, is because of the fact that it's like, if I hit any other dino or any other bigger creature, like I feel like it's so much worse, right? But let's try to Atali again. It failed the first time. So many hits it could be, and there's one of them finally. Go here, go here. Of course, hit here because that's got first strike and death touch, so I can never block it. That was their removal. There's a Zombify, which does nothing. Means we get Zombify back, which is weird. It doesn't ask you to put in hand anymore. But our opponent gives it up, knowing that we'll be able to bring stuff back again. That was kind of more what I was expecting from Atali the first time, but hitting the third invasion, at least Seize the Spoils would have felt like I hit something different. You know? I feel like we have everything and nothing, you know? Oh no. Go ahead and get this out of the way. Well, now I feel like we have everything. We just have to draw well at all. We'll put our one of Swamp in play, considering it's what we need. About 4 of them. Alright, just more reanimate pieces, please. Never anything good. Another land is okay. Nothing good. I don't want anything good. Feel like I'm really in the mirror. But I could be wrong. They haven't put anything in their graveyard. We at least have a swamp. Oh, Archetype Charm's pretty cool. Just a swamp, but they still don't have anything, right? Or land card review. 1 good hit. Oh, hasty boys. Oh, 2 good hits. I have a feeling that our game is now over, but our opponent can elect to stay if they'd like. They seem like a big creature deck as well. Now we're off to the races. Another one. I'll put that back in my hand as well. But now anything that dies, I just get to bring back for free pretty much with Zombify. And then, yeah, I mean, I would assume they're pretty much the same deck. They're just playing Courage instead of us playing Dino that gives everything haste. But Courage is honestly, to some extent, probably better because you could play it for cheaper. And if it does die, it goes as an enchantment, so we don't lose it. But the other Dino makes way more creatures, so it's weird. I don't know. Kind of the same situation as earlier where I have like a Ghalta and nothing to go with said Ghalta. Let's put that in the graveyard. Like, okay. Well, the Rakdos joins up, can technically do it all. But, hey, we're going to see Mono Red for the first time. Since our new set came out. Smile. Another Ghalta in hands. Probably, like, not the worst. The reason why is because Rakdos joins up will dome our opponent for 12. Yeah, so let's do, like, a Seize the Spoils. I can't imagine doing that too many times. Hey, now I hit a Zombify, which is huge because that means next turn I can Zombify instead of having to Rakdos joins up. So now we just need to hit another good creature. Screaming Nemesis would be the hardest creature for us to deal with. Sure. On if I want to, although that, I mean, that is definitely a significantly less good turn, but I can Ghalta pretty much block anything. And obviously we got rid of the other Ghalta because it just kind of doesn't matter. Maybe I should have just kept it for Seize the Spoils. I'm more or less trolling. I just think it's funny. Like put in a Ghalta, play another Ghalta, just sack it to legendary rule, call it a day. And no, I didn't mess up there. I intentionally did that. Our opponent's thinking how they beat a 12-12. They don't have a creature to beat a 12-12 instantly like they did before. They attack here. I was going to say it's going to be pretty obvious what's going on. Let's go land. Let's go seize. Let's discard the... Do I have to do the Carnosaur? So I want to hit the this. Go grab the other battle. Maybe? So what? 1, 2, play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it wouldn't even do much. But honestly, it's probably worse. Just hold. Played a third land and passed. Feels like my Ghalta is probably pretty safe as a blocker. Can't gain life, right? Damage can't be prevented. Players can't gain life. Brutal times, dude. Another land draw is obviously awesome. We love that for us. Swamp, forest, mountain. So it's probably just another mountain here, I suppose. Carnosaur. Day 9-8. Your Triumph. Very cool. Start a card. For this guy. That doesn't really matter. The color source might matter more. Then here, because I do have a 9-8 as backup, we'll just attack this. Go face, I guess. That technically puts him on a 2-turn clock. I don't know why I didn't go face. Yeah, this is definitely a bad play, I suppose. It also kind of puts them in a weird spot where they can't really do much about it. Because like now I still have lethal, so attacking they basically have to put in lethal. Unless they have another Lynx. Opera Love Song is gone. Or it's actually so good. People weren't playing this before, but it's the same as most of the other ones. But you also can just buff your creatures. Screaming Nemesis, now that's a card I can't deal with. Oh well. Full mouse number 2. Still technically gain life right now, and they just concede. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it turns out Mono Red struggling in comparison to what it used to be able to do before. It's kind of why I just wanted to hold back and see, honestly, where they're putting Sunspine Links in their main boards because they just don't know what to do anymore. They don't have a double striking monster Shrage house. Sick. Alright, so with that said, this is where we ended on today's video. I do think, honestly, you could probably go up 2 Bitter Triumphs over everything else just because of how it is. And honestly, we should probably then make our mana probably a little bit better. It's just so weird because you don't want to overload on stuff. And I honestly didn't really adjust the mana from the last time I played the deck. And I think that was one of my concerns last time as well. I think Secluded Courtyard is just bad. I feel like we just never want this card. But based on the intro, or if I bring it up, I kind of haven't really cared to look at Magic over the last couple of days. And then the bans happened a day that obviously we were all very excited for as we saw that Mono Red matchup. It felt like we were playing 2 different forms of Standard at that point, although I'm definitely playing a different form of Standard in comparison to most people, I think, if you're playing the Dino deck. But obviously I've not been in the best moods. I'm probably a little depressed overall because the dog passing and all, because I mean that's just what happens, right? So with that said, I enjoy this deck. I think this deck is arguably one of the most fun decks to just sit down and queue up at any given point just because of how crazy it can get. And I think I'll probably move it to the front because it's a pretty strong match to just kind of showcase what the deck can do, even though it was our last game. But last game / the first game of the set where we just turn 3, slam everything on the board and just trigger everything, go above 50 life instantly on turn 3 against a Oculus looking deck, and just nothing they can do. With all that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.